What's up, guys, and welcome back to Drew Reviews and Macho Movie Madness.
Oh yeah.
With me always is my partner in crime, Brandon, and of course, I'm Andrew. And today we're going to do something that the old YouTube, I've not seen one of these on there, Brandon, a Dolph Lundgren tier ranking.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and as much as we enjoy the man's movies and watch him with a light machine gun tearing stuff up, we thought it was about time that we gave that to you. So
Yeah.
this is a labor of love. Something I announced after I did my Army of One review back, gosh, that was February maybe, and it took a while to get 30 of them watched. But I've kind of
A
cherry
lot of
picked,
movies.
cherry picked 30 Dolph Lundgren movies. Some good, a few not so good, and we're going to talk about them and rank them today.
Yeah. And there's I did find another list on like this site. So somebody's ranked them at some point, but I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's like 50 some movies, and there's just no way I could
Yeah.
go through 50 for most people. Dolph Lundgren is one of those dudes that I love. I think he's a little underrated, but I mean, he's definitely not a strong actor. His movies are not the strongest. The actors around him are not always the best. Some of them are. I've seen better performances out of him in certain movies, and really not so good performances in others. There are some movies you watch him in, and you're like, this dude is underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's others where he just phones it in. So maybe he just wants a paycheck. Hell, I don't know. But we do love Dolph here on this channel, and we want to give him some love today. So I guess, are you ready to get into this thing?
Yeah, let's dig right into it, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna make us a little small here. We're on the StreamYard app, and I'm gonna say something right now too. This is not a plug for StreamYard. I like the app, but your prices are getting outrageous.
Yeah,
we haven't done this in a while, and which is, you'll notice their nice little logo up here at the top I can't get rid of because I'm on the free program, and I don't care to say that on this because it's just the way it's real. But getting too expensive to be doing this shit, especially no more than what we do. Anyway, so we got this for everybody. We got rank S tier down to, I guess, D, but we've changed the titles here. For S rank, the best rank, it's I Must Break You.
I must break you.
I Must Break You. The A rank is And You Leave in Pieces. B rank is Are We Having Fun Yet? C rank is If He Dies, He Dies. And D rank, The Worst. Or F, what do you want to say?
Yeah.
Welcome to Hell.
Yeah, we like to keep these themed to the actor we do them to, because S through whatever is just boring. So
yeah, it's bullshit. So we'll make it fun. We did the same thing with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to switch over pages here, and we are going to run through these. I guess we just want to go in order that we've got them down here.
Yeah, that works for me, man.
Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to be over. Let's start with Army of One.
And this is one you just saw for the first time.
I did. I just watched this for the very first time. This movie, well, we probably need to do. I kind of feel like we
standard definition glory.
Yeah, I feel like we need to do this movie in its own review.
Yeah,
one of these days
or something.
Yeah, this one here I really enjoyed. There's things about it that I thought were a little choppy in editing. There was a reason why there was choppy editing in some places, because they were revealing a story, these plot devices, little by little to the audience, to further the plot of the character and whether he's a bad guy or a good guy. And I like that. Some of the other editing, though, with action sequences, not so good. All in all, I liked the story. I liked the movie. The action was pretty good, but there was just some of that choppiness there that really kind of made it seem more like a TV movie than it did like a blockbuster action movie.
Cinematically, it kind of looks like an early to mid 90s TV movie.
It does. Yeah.
That's the only real fault I have with it. But other than that, man, I really enjoy this movie, and the action. That chop shop scene is phenomenal. Really enjoy it.
What's her name? The main chick from Days of Our Lives.
Yeah,
super hot.
Grady.
Yeah. Okay, so where do we want to put this? This is up there for me, I think.
Yeah, it's up there. I don't think it's I Must Break You level, but I think it's probably And You Leave in Pieces a-hole level.
Yeah, I could get down with that. I do think it's I think it's one of the stronger ones I've seen, and just all around fun.
Yeah. And we'll revisit them when we're done here and see if that's where they belong or not. But to me,
Yeah.
there's a handful that belong in the I Must Break You tier.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, moving on to Battle of the Damned. Now, I have not seen this one.
Yeah.
You have.
Battle of the Damned, I think I pulled it up on some illegal streaming app on my phone to watch. It's fun, but it's definitely flawed, and it's one of these movies. It's basically Dolph against zombies, but there's like robots on his side toward the end of it. It's wild and it's wacky. For now, I would say put it in the "Are we having fun yet?" level.
Okay.
And we'll reassess it later because it might go down one. We'll see.
Okay.
But it's definitely, if you just want a fun time, it's worth a watch, I guess.
Let's see. Let's go to Blackjack.
Oh, Blackjack. So this was one of the most disappointing movies on the list. I'm gonna set the story for you, Brandon. You've got Dolph Lundgren. Well, he's still in his physical prime. I believe this was 1998, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You've got John Woo, fresh off of Face Off. You've got Fred Williamson from all the blaxploitation films. This sounds like a winner, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no. This was a made-for-TV movie, and it was terrible. This is maybe one of the most disappointing movies on the list for me.
Really?
He's got a phobia, because all great action heroes have to have a phobia, and it's of the color white.
What?
So he fights this guy in a milk factory, and like one of the pipes bust, and he just like cowers and curls up and can't fight because he's just it's dumb. It's dumb and it's frustrating. So this is the epitome of a welcome to hell for me.
Okay, so we're gonna go welcome to hell on that one.
This should have been a slam dunk, and it was a TV movie, but still, come on, John Woo, come on, Dolph, you can do better than that.
Yeah, especially right off of Face Off.
Yeah.
And to just to let everybody know, too, full disclosure here, I have seen some of these. I have not seen all these. If I haven't said that already, Andrew has watched all these. We were doing this for the Macho channel, and he's doing it for the Drew Reviews channel as well. So this is going to be more. So he's going to have to walk me through a few of these. So you have to help me out on a few of these. These I just haven't had the time to finish all of them, but I did see some. Next up on the list is Black Water. So Jean-Claude and Dolph.
Yeah, anytime you get Jean-Claude and Dolph, you think it would be good, but this one's kind of middle of the road. It's very reminiscent of Escape Plan. They're actually on like a prison submarine, and it's okay. I've heard a lot of people really hate this movie. I don't hate it, but to me, it goes in that if he dies tier, because it's just kind of middling.
Okay, so just nothing to write home about.
Yeah, it's one if you want to be a completist, watch it, but it's nothing that you just absolutely have to go out of your way to see.
Okay. Castle Falls is next.
Now, Castle Falls is a lot of fun. You've got Scott Adkins, who's in a lot of Dolph Lundgren movies. He's this guy down on his luck, and there's this building in, I believe it's Alabama. It's like this children's hospital they're gonna destroy, and these bad guys have stashed this money in it. And on demolition day, he finds out about it. He goes in for the money. The bad guys are coming in for the money. Dolph Lundgren's a prison guard, and his daughter's got cancer, and he finds out about this money, and they all kind of converge at the same time, and it's a blast. And Dolph Lundgren directed this. His daughter's his actual daughter in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool.
She's in another one of these too that we'll talk about later. This movie, I would put And You Leave in Pieces, like without question.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. I will put that up there.
It's one for my Drew Reviews peeps. I promised I'll do that at some point in the future.
Okay. So next up, we have One in the Chamber.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people say they didn't like this one either. It's him and Cuba Gooding Jr. And a lot of people say they don't like it because Cuba Gooding Jr. is kind of wooden and just kind of phoning it in. But I liked his character in it. And of course, Dolph is the standout in this. He's Alexei, the wolf, and they're both basically hitmen. And I think it's all right. So I'd put it in that middle tier. It's got some pretty good action in it, and he's I can't remember when this came out, but I think it's pre-John Wick, and I'm pretty sure he has a dog in this that follows him around. So Just
Nice.
saying.
Got a little idea there?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. How about Command Performance? Now, this is one of those that you told me that I needed to watch, and I have not got a chance to yet, but it's on the list.
Yeah, Command Performance is awesome, man. And there's the DVD. Yeah, this one's going in the And You Leave in Pieces tier. It is a lot of fun. I would recommend anybody see this. It is Die Hard in a concert hall.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren plays this drummer in the opening band for this kind of like Britney Spears type pop star. And these Russian revolutionists come in and take the place over. And I just reviewed this one actually for my channel, and that one kind of took off a little bit more than what I thought it would.
Cool.
So there's an audience for it. So maybe we need to review it for Macho at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool with me too, because we need to do that in Army of One.
Yeah, it's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of comedy too. Like there's a scene where the bad guys blow this door with C4, and he was behind it smoking a joint, and he wakes up with smoke all around him. He's like, I got to lay off with this shit. It's great.
Okay, so next up, Cover Up.
Cover Up. Woo. Yeah, this is another one. Welcome to Hell. You would think Louis Gossett Jr. and Dolph Lundgren, after seeing them in The Punisher, would be a great team, but this movie was a mess.
Ugh.
Save for an action scene or two, I mean, that's all that saves this from just being garbage. It's not good.
Damn shame.
Yeah,
I love them both. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, it and Blackjack deserve that spot there.
Okay. How about The Defender?
The Defender's pretty good. This is another one. This was Dolph's directorial debut, actually. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he just wanted to get in directing or he was sick of the way people were directing him. But all the movies he's directed on this list are pretty good. Yeah, I forgot to say on Command Performance, he directed that one as well. But
okay, cool.
This one here was his first. It's kind of a siege movie. I know that they're holding a girl hostage in this hotel, and they end up going in the catacombs. But the main reason to watch this is Jerry Springer is the president of the United States.
Jesus Christ.
And it was fun, man. He does a really good job as the POTUS, you know.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. He's actually one of the stronger actors in the film besides Dolph. So I would put that in that middle tier, probably.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people online who like it more than me, but to me, it's right there in the middle somewhere.
Just being a little gun nut myself here, I can't help but notice that is a Walther P99.
Wow.
Looks like a first gen, which would have been the just fun fact. This was the Walther that Pierce Brosnan's James Bond received in Tomorrow Never Dies. He traded the PPK in for that at the end.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's what Brosnan used the rest of his movies. So you look at Die Another Day, all those, that's what he has.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Dolph, man, he handles weapons very well.
Yeah.
In all these movies, and everything seems pretty authentic. And there's nothing cooler than a 6'5" Swedish guy talking in a Russian accent. I killed them all. Love it.
Hell yeah. Okay, next up is Direct.
Direct action.
Direct action.
That was a fun one. It'd probably also go in that middle tier. I wouldn't say it's unmemorable, but I'm having a hard time remembering a lot about it, other than he's this undercover detective, and he's got this bright red Adidas jacket on, which is why, if you're trying to lay low, would you wear something bright red like that? I don't know. I was thinking that the entire time. It's okay. Not my favorite for sure, but it's worth a watch.
So it's still middle tier?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Don't Kill It?
So Don't Kill It, I almost want to put in Welcome to Hell, because it's not a good movie, but it's fun. It's kind of like another movie we're going to talk about later on this list. Yeah, I'd probably put it right there, where when these people get killed, they get possessed by the spirit and their eyes go black. And so
Lord,
his name's Jebediah something or other, and they bring him in on this deal. And it was fun. That's the only thing that saves it from going in that terrible tier on the bottom.
We'll put it maybe the last of the second to bottom tier.
Yeah. Okay,
so how about Bridge of Dragons here?
Bridge of Dragons, that's another one I'm probably going to talk about. There's the DVD. It's a lot of fun. Kerry Tagawa who we
That's what I
love.
was gonna say. That looks like, yeah, we love Terry Tagawa and Kerry Tagawa, and I couldn't help but notice him on the. I haven't seen this one yet, and I couldn't help but notice him on the poster there.
Yeah, he's kind of like an evil dictator in this. It's kind of strange in this movie. It's like they've got helicopters and tanks, but it's really old timey. They're like on horseback too.
Oh, interesting.
So it is pretty interesting. It might be another Warehouse B, but yeah, Dolph plays this guy. He's like the second in command, I guess you'd say, in that army, and he ends up like saving this princess. It's almost medieval, but it's got some like, tanks and planes, and so it's hard to explain exactly what it is.
Interesting.
But it's a fun watch, and I would put it probably end of And You Leave in Pieces or beginning of Are We Having Fun Yet? It's right there somewhere.
Okay, so we'll put it right there. Okay, cool.
That might be low for it, but we'll go back and look.
Okay, yeah, we'll go back and okay. So Johnny Mnemonic.
Have you seen this one?
You know what? I'm ashamed to say that I have not, and I've been meaning to because I love Keanu as well.
Yeah, you won't love him in this.
Not yet, huh?
William Gibson, like the father of cyberpunk, who did Neuromancer and stuff. I believe he wrote this, and they butchered what he does. And I think Keanu's a courier, and he's got all this storage space in his head, but now it's like less than the storage space you have on an iPhone or something. Because this was 1995,
right?
And Dolph plays this street preacher. I almost didn't put this on the list because Dolph, he's second build, and he was supposed to be in it a lot more, but I guess the director didn't want him in the movie because he thought he's this dumb action guy. But I went ahead and put it in there to round out 30. So I'd put it in that if he dies, he dies tier.
Okay.
Probably just ahead of Don't Kill It or something.
Maybe like right here.
Yeah, just a real disappointment of a movie.
Good placeholder. Okay, that's a shame. Kindergarten Cop 2. Now I've seen bits and pieces of this, but I have not seen it in full.
Yeah,
obviously I'm a big fan of the first one.
Yeah, this I heard was terrible, and I got it, and it isn't a good movie, but it's fun. There's this hilarious scene where, like, when Dolph's trying to, fit in with the kids and everything. He's there he's undercover. He's there for a reason. But there's this scene where he's reading this book about this peacock to these kids, and like people keep taking the peacock's feathers and trying to color their part of the world or something to that effect. And until there's nothing left of the peacock, and he looks at the kids and goes, "What a bunch of liberal BS." They make you listen to this stuff. I thought it was hilarious. There's some pretty funny dialogue in that movie. I'd put it at the front of if he dies, he dies.
About to ask, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe when we look at it, it might go to the tail end of the next tier, but
okay.
It's okay.
Well, speaking of just what about He-Man, Masters of the Universe?
Have you seen He-Man?
Like a long time ago. I don't even remember most of it.
Yeah, I watched it. It's funny. In some review I did, I was talking about it was the Dolph Lundgren top 10. I said some people would wonder why, Masters of the Universe is not in there, and to that I say, have you seen Masters of the Universe? And Kenny from Macho, he's just like, hey, what about Masters of the Universe? Shout out to Kenny.
Yeah.
But to me it's Are We Having Fun Yet? Probably behind Direct Action.
Yeah. It's at the very tail end.
Yeah, I like the sets. They're really impressive. Yeah. And Cannon put a lot of money in it. But Dolph, they don't give him much to do. I think this is the movie where when Stallone was shooting Over the Top, he came to the set and said, "You gave that guy speaking lines?" He got better. But yeah, he did have a lot of dialogue in that movie.
Yeah. He was always more of a physical presence anyway.
Yeah.
Men of War.
Men of War is fantastic. That definitely goes in And You Leave in Pieces.
Yeah.
That's one. If you guys out there have not seen this movie, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I got through the first half of it, and I just ran out of time before this, but I really enjoyed what I saw of it. So
yeah. So you got to see them. You got to see them getting a fight in that bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Great fight scene.
Yeah.
I love him putting his flask, by the way, of booze in a holster.
Yeah. I really like it, and I like the supporting cast in that as well. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
I'd move it ahead of. I'd put it right behind Army of One. Actually,
Okay.
I'd put them right there beside each other.
Okay. How about The Minion?
Welcome
Not
to
seen this.
Hell.
Not seen this.
Yeah,
Bottom two. It was.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's another one like kind of like Don't Kill It, only it's
Yeah.
not as good if
Not
you
as
can
fun.
believe that. He's a Templar. He's like a Templar for the Catholic Church, and he goes to New York City because they've uncovered this evil spirit that goes from body to body, and it's not good, man.
Ugh.
I had a hard time getting through that one.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll say no more. The Package.
Yeah,
now you'll have to remind me of the plot of this one because I probably did watch this because of Steve Austin.
Yeah, this is more of a Steve Austin movie than a Dolph movie.
Yeah.
It follows him. He's kind of a collector. He comes in and gets money from people for his boss, and he's supposed to deliver this package to this guy. And at the same time, you've got Dolph Lundgren, and he's kind of a hitman. It turns out, I guess I'll go ahead and spoilers for the next 30 seconds. So, but it turns out there's nothing in the actual box. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the package. He's got the same blood type as Dolph Lundgren, who's got cancer and dying, and he needs a transfusion.
I got you.
And there are a couple scenes, pretty cool scenes with Dolph, but overall, it's kind of lackluster for a Dolph Lundgren movie. It's more, like I said, it's more of a Steve Austin movie, but it's worth a watch. I'd probably put it at the beginning of if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't. I mean, that just tells you. I know. I'm pretty sure I watched it years ago when it first came out. It would have been like a direct to DVD kind of thing. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Most of these are.
When I had the store, I probably picked it up and checked it out, but I don't remember much about it, so I can't really say much. But I guess that tells you anything if I don't really remember it.
Yeah. When I was getting ready to do when I said I'm going to do this Dolph Lundgren tier ranking, like back in February, that's one of the first ones I watched because Dolph and Steve Austin. How can you F that up, man?
You know, dude. And I will say, like the Condemned, Steve Austin's first outing. Man, I love that movie.
I need to watch that again.
I love that movie. It shows a little bit of its time, because WWE were just getting into the movie thing. I think with the Marine and all that was after that, and things were dark. How they shot it was a little dark, and I always hated that, especially that 2008 to 12 run in movies where everything was just kind of dark and had a filter. I didn't like that.
We're looking at AVP Requiem.
Yeah. Oh my God, terrible. It was kind of like that, but not as bad. It was still a very solid movie though. For a cheaper WWE film with Steve Austin, it had good action. It was pretty sinister. Vinnie Jones was in it. And I'm not going to try to hijack this into a Steve Austin show, but it was good. So yeah, coming into this, you'd think with him and Lundgren, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah. But they're kind of the masters of direct-to-video right now, or have been for the last several years.
We'll have to do the Condemned on the channel, too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that'll be good. Well, I didn't think about that before, but yeah, we'll definitely need to do that. It'd give me a reason to watch it again.
Me too, because it's been a long time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Okay, so next up is I Come in Peace.
You know where to put this one.
We're gonna put this at the very top. You think, right?
I must break you.
Very solid movie. There's some cheesiness elements to it with the bad guy and his looks, but all in all, this is a very, very fun and solid movie.
Yeah, I'll just come out and say it now. It's the top movie on my list. For me.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that, there's a couple of high profile movies that we're going to talk about later that also belong in that tier, but this is a Dolph Lundgren, him alone engine right here, and the others have other guys in them to kind of help. This is a total solo effort, and I think
he did a good job.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, they did a good job making him look good in this movie, and he did a good job. I really enjoyed it, considering the type of content and the bad guy and everything, even that sci-fi element to it. It was still a solid, and he did a good job. Yeah, it definitely belongs at the top tier of his. I think so far, out of all of these, it's the best acted and just all around best movie
Yeah, good
so
ensemble
far.
cast. Brian Benben's great in that movie. His FBI partner.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Agent
awesome.
Smith. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. We covered, actually I covered this, I think, for Warehouse B number 11. So be sure and check that out if you haven't seen it. It's one I kind of wish I'd done with Brandon. Anyway.
Yeah, and there's some of these. There's a couple of them, like Army of One we talked about first off. That's just missing a few things
Hmm.
that would bring that up into that like low end I must break you tier.
Yeah.
It's just I think you have a little bit better music and maybe set up scenes a little bit better, have a little better editing, and made it look a little less like a TV movie.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing about I Come in Peace. It doesn't look like a TV movie, even with
No.
the goofy sci-fi elements. It looks like a movie, like a theatrical release movie.
Yeah. Who was the director on that one? Let me.
I
Craig
have to
R.
look it up.
Baxley, who did a lot. He did like Action Jackson and
Yeah.
all kinds of action movies. He was really good at action movies in the 80s and early 90s. Like, him and whoever he got to do the cinematography for that. It looks. What is this, like maybe an $8 million movie? It looks like way more expensive than that.
It does. Yeah. We want to move on now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another one, The Punisher.
Yeah. I'll let you take this.
Well, really, I enjoyed this one a lot. It's very different than what most of us would be used to in Frank Castle and Marvel Comics, or Thomas Jane's Punisher. Still my favorite Punisher of all time. It's like my movie wise. I mean, I like Thomas Jane as the Punisher, but even though he's not the most comic accurate representation of Frank Castle, I still really enjoy this performance and that movie overall best. I think the other one, the Warzone, probably hit that comic book Punisher a little bit better, but I just didn't enjoy the movie. It wasn't a very good movie, and some people might scream at me for that, but I just didn't much care for it. This movie was a lot different, but really still enjoyed this. Going back a few months ago when doing this movie for the channel and watch it for the first time, really enjoyed it. I think we rated it pretty high. I would be torn at putting this at the bottom of I Must Break You or the top of And I Leave You in Pieces.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it right here for now, ahead of Army of One. But I feel like it should go in I Must Break You.
Yeah, we'll evaluate that later. This movie, we did that versus, and I voted. Of course, me loving B movies, I voted like 3-2 or maybe even 4-1. This Punisher, because I have a lot of fun with this movie. A lot of collateral damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, just seeing him on the bike under the tunnels was badass. Okay, so moving on to Universal Soldier Regeneration, I believe, or is it US Regeneration, something like that. It's like, was it the fourth or fifth one?
Well,
or what
in its own timeline, it's the second one after the original because they don't count the Return from '99.
Okay.
It's
Return the one with Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. So, have you seen this one?
I have not seen this one. Okay. I skipped it.
So yeah,
they've been pretty terrible. Other than the first one. So
this one I did earlier this year, or I guess when this comes out, it'll be last year for the channel. And thanks guys for the views on that. It went over like 2,300 views. But yeah, this movie is so bad that I didn't even watch Reckoning, the third one. I didn't. If you'll notice, it's not on this list.
Yeah.
I'd put it ahead of Johnny Mnemonic, right there in that next to last year. Yeah. But it's a disappointment. It's it's that European drab gray. It's just boring. They got Andre the Pitbull Orlovsky in this thing, and he's ground and pound and just punches people's faces in. The only time this movie really lights up are the 5 minutes that Dolph Lundgren's in it. Because he comes alive and you're like, yes, you've got something to cheer for, even though he's the bad guy.
Right.
Because even Van Damme in this is just so wooden. Like, he's nothing like the character in the first movie.
Yeah, just playing a part,
Yeah,
just phoning it in.
yeah, looking at monkeys on a TV screen and crying. And so when Dolph comes in and he's double crossing everybody and killing everyone, you're like, yes. Well, why can't it be more like that?
Okay, so let's move on to Rocky Four, which I mean, there's no question that's going to go
Yep.
straight to the top. It's Rocky for one thing. That don't. I'm not as big of a fan of the Rocky series as Andrew is, but there's not a bad Rocky movie. Three's but like,
See, I like
dude,
three a lot. Five
but yeah,
one I don't like.
five was but one, two, and four solid
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, this is an
In my
MTV
opinion.
movie for sure. Like it's
Yeah.
bright. It's got 3 different musical montages in it, I believe.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the epitome of MTV in 1985 when this thing came out. But yeah, I'd put it right there because this is what made Dolph. This typecast him.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
yeah, two movies down the road, we're going to be talking about him being typecast.
Yes. I guess, do we have anything else to say about Rocky?
No,
Please.
it's tremendous. And if you haven't seen it, get out of the rock you're living under.
Yeah. And watch Rocky.
Yeah.
The Mechanic with a K.
The Mechanic, also known as the Russian Specialist. I just
Specialist.
I couldn't remember much about it other than the sound of the gunfire and a few things. So I watched it again yesterday. And this movie belongs at the end of And You Leave in Pieces. This is another Dolph directed movie. And
Wow.
everything's it's a little bit different. Everything's kind of got a gold tone to it. You know how you get in the late 2000s and you get that monochromatic thing that you hate.
Yes.
This one's got a little bit of a amber gold type tone to it. It's kind of interesting take. Dolph Lundgren plays a mechanic, and his family was killed. It's great because his family's killed and he gets his revenge in the first 6 minutes of the movie. And then,
wow.
yeah, it's just him trying to live his life. And the guy he thought he killed to get his revenge turns out he's human trafficking people. And this lady offers him a bunch of money to go in and get him. And it's a really good movie. It drags a little bit in the middle. Otherwise, it'd be way higher than this. But some great action. And I was watching this actually on my lunch break one day. I had my phone set up on my dash and I was watching this for this tier ranking. And I just got factory speakers in my truck, but I had it cranked up. And I'm like, shit, I got to turn that down because people are going to be looking because the gunfire. Like when
it's so crazy.
Oh yeah, just bassy and opening up. And I was like, man, it's one you should probably watch.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check that. I'll add that to the list because I need to watch Castle Falls and Command Performance too, and finish Men of War.
Yeah, him and a team go in and get this girl out, and then they kind of get hunted. But like I said, if it wasn't for that middle part, it kind of suffers from the T2 thing. Once they kind of reach their objective, the bad guys
it slows off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Red Scorpion.
Oh yeah.
So this is super good, man. The action in this movie, I have seen this one. This is solid. Now I think we probably throw this right up here, don't we? Or did you put it? Yeah,
I put it right there. I'd probably put it ahead of The Punisher.
Yeah,
we did this for Macho Movie Madness last year, and we want to thank you guys for all the views.
Yeah,
this is our most watched movie review that we've, and we couldn't believe it was for Red Scorpion.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but it's solid movie, and I hadn't seen it until we did it for the channel.
Yeah, him and that FAL shooting at that airplane and taking down this airplane, and just the whole way. I believe in the review, talking about the whole way that shot was set up, where he finds the thing.
Dude, it's incredible.
Yeah,
incredible action.
Yeah, the action's the reason to watch this movie. He was still not quite to I Come in Peace level with his acting yet, but he was still like this big stoic guy, and it's fun watching him take down stuff with a machine gun.
Yeah. Okay, so Shark Lake, I hadn't watched that one. What do we do with this one?
So Shark Lake, have you seen the movie This Is Spinal Tap? The
no, I need to.
So the band Spinal Tap have a 2-word review of their album Shark Sandwich. Mm-hmm. This guy calls it Shit Sandwich. I've got 2 words for this movie: Shit Lake.
Shit Lake. Not
It
good.
I'd put it ahead of Blackjack though. I would right there
Oh,
in Welcome to Hell. Dolph fights a CGI shark. Um, it's as bad as it
no.
sounds, but that's just for a few minutes. The rest of it, it's kind of a this movie's kind of a child custody battle for like an hour and 20 minutes. It's boring. There's nothing to it, and yeah, it belongs in that tier for sure.
Ugh. I just don't have any desire. Just usually, I'm
Nope.
really skeptical about stuff like that anyway.
Basically, the way I see it, if it's Dolph in the 2005 to now, if he's not directing it, I don't know if you should.
But yeah, really want to watch it.
Yeah,
Dolph's a smart guy, so
yeah.
I mean,
And then you
he
got
just
movies like Command Performance, where he's not only wrote it, he directed it, he played the drums in it. The guy's he's a savant.
yeah, he's fucking awesome, man. Like I say, he's underrated in every way. Just I think if he's just handcuffed by too much stuff, it just goes south. That's
Yeah.
probably what it is. One of the funnest movies in this entire list
Mhm.
is we're going to talk about next, Showdown in Little Tokyo, and we're obviously going to shove this right up her.
Yeah.
And I will placement we'll worry about later, but definitely I Must Break You, one of the top movies. Brandon Lee's in it. He hasn't really found his spot yet. He's more of a comedy sidekick in this. Kerry Tagawa obviously being the bad guy. Love Kerry Tagawa. There's a lot of people in this, and what's Tia Carrera
Oh, woo!
in this. So this movie, guys, is so fun. It's so good, and there's like such great lines, such great action, and there's some overtopness and some
Yeah.
goofiness in there with not just the dialogue, but like the ending with the bad guy and the death. But all in all, this is a damn good movie. Damn good movie, and it probably doesn't get enough recognition, but it's a damn good movie.
With credits, it's an hour and 18 minutes, and there's an action scene at least every 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
if that doesn't get you going, you need to get your ticker checked.
yeah. Why are you even here?
Yeah, why are you coming to Macho Movie, man? Let's get out of here.
Don't be coming here if you don't like this movie, or if you at least can't get down with some action every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple different reviews on this one. You can check on the channel too if you want a little bit more thoughts on it. But very solid movie. Next up is Skin Trade. Have not seen this one, but I know you did.
Skin Trade, another one written and directed by Dolph Lundgren. This one it does the human trafficking thing. He actually wrote it 2 years before Taken came out.
Okay.
He's an
cool.
activist against human trafficking. And this movie's really good. It's got Peter Weller, Ron Perlman, Michael Jai White, Tony Jaa. What's not to like?
Right.
Maybe the ending. It wouldn't be for a lot of people. But aside from that, man, this is a solid movie. It goes right there with Army of One and Men of War.
Yeah, I agree. That's from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be added to my list.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything that I haven't seen in I Leave You in Pieces is going to have to be watched.
Yeah. That movie, there's two just really good fights, and that him and Tony Jaa have this fight down by the docks in this like grain silo, and like grain's falling all around them while they're punching, and Tony Jaa's kicking him all over the place, and Dolph finally has enough and just power bombs the hell out of him.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Him and Michael Jai White, him and Tony Jaa, they have a great fight as well.
Michael Jai White's awesome too.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Sweepers. We're down to the last three here in the list. What's Sweepers? What do you rank that?
Sweepers is actually pretty good. It's a solid average movie, but the ending explosion in this thing is enough to put it in that middle tier for me. Are we having fun yet? I put it right there with Bridge of Dragons.
Okay.
It's like, so if an explosion is so good that it takes a movie from like middle of the road clear to almost the second tier, the explosion's amazing.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, they blow up a bridge practically.
What's the plot on that? Do you remember some of the plot?
He basically is like a minesweeper. He goes in and finds all these mines. I can't remember what country they're in right off the top of my head, but his son ends up running and getting killed on one of these things, and he's kind of a down on his luck drunk after the fact. And I can't remember after that what the plot is with the bad guys. I'd have to watch it again, but it's definitely worth a watch. I do remember that much.
Silent Trigger, I guess, is the next one.
Silent Trigger's one I hear a lot of people like. I did not. I would
Okay.
put it at the beginning of the Welcome to Hell tier.
Oh, okay.
This
Wow.
movie,
That's
yeah, this movie was directed by Russell Mulcahy, which he did the original Highlander. So you're
mhm.
expecting like big things with him and Dolph in 1996.
Funny.
And
Funny. It looks kind of like the poster looks like a Highlander movie or something around that time.
yeah, a little bit, but it was really disappointing. They're a lot of the time in this movie they're in this skyscraper with rain pouring down, and it's beautiful. Like there's some
Mm,
really beautiful shots in the movie, but it's not good. And
mm.
I can't remember who the bad guy is, but this security guard ends up being a bad guy trying to rape his partner who helps him, set up for his sniping jobs, and
Mhm.
it's not good, man. I expected way more out of that.
Especially out of that poster. Damn, that's a fucking good
Yeah,
looking poster.
I know a lot of people would probably have it at least a tier, maybe 2 tiers up, but it was disappointing.
Mm. I might have to check it out a little bit and see. So definitely there's definitely a couple in the middle tier that I need to watch, but and then several in the second tier I need to watch.
Yeah,
Last tier or last movie for the ranking, Universal Soldier, and we really probably saved about the best for last.
yeah,
Because this is 100% his best movie. I think. I mean, I know you like I Come in Peace, but I mean, overall,
yeah,
movie quality wise, I think Universal Soldier is the best out of this entire list.
yeah. And in
Um,
my opinion, Roland Emmerich's best movie. I'll take this over Independence Day or Day After Tomorrow any day of the week.
I would too. I would too. And of course, Jean Claude was actually this is more of his movie, I guess too. But I mean, it's kind of a dual movie. It's pretty well both of them, but
Yeah,
very very solid.
yeah, yeah. He plays Sergeant Andrew Scott, which I loved, not just because
Hmm.
that's my first and middle name, but he's so good in this.
Yes.
That scene in the supermarket, where he drags all of his dead soldiers into the refrigerator, and I'm kicking ass and smacking heads.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, I love that whole speech. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would personally put I Come in Peace, but it's fine there. I
Yeah.
dig it.
Yeah, either way. So, okay, so let's go through here real quick before we wrap it up and just kind of fine tune this list and see are we good with placement on most of this stuff?
Yeah, I think the top tier, that's the cream of the crop right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you've not seen any of those movies, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, you have to definitely see those, and then most, if not all, of the second tier, I would definitely
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I would watch all of the second tier and
Um,
half of that third tier for sure.
yeah, yeah. You like the placement of everything?
Yeah,
Red Scorpion, Punisher, Army of One, Skin Trade, Men of War, Command Performance, Castle Falls, and Mechanic.
I might move Skin Trade up ahead of the Punisher even.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Red Scorpion, Skin Trade, Punisher, Army of One.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I think that might have been how I've ranked them. I don't know. I can't remember Punisher, Army One, in Men of War. They're all kind of grouped there together. They're really
Yeah.
good.
We're all pretty well close there. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's a pretty solid ranking there.
Yeah, and this is just 30. I think Dolph's got over 120 credits, so this is just
God.
he does like 4 movies a year. But yeah, this and you might notice we left off the Expendables. They're more ensemble things. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a bigger role in the first one, but I mean, you just throw them in the top tier anyway, probably.
Yeah. I really enjoyed him in the Expendable movies.
Yeah, the first two for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that second one was cool. That
Yeah.
second one had so much action. It was wild.
Van Damme's such a good bad guy in that.
Oh, he was too. He was. Yeah, that was good on Van Damme because usually he does not. He just doesn't have it half the time. Even in some of his more like his like prime movies, there's a couple of them that are pretty bad acting wise.
Yeah.
Where the movies might be good, but he killed it in the Expendables. Man, he was good. Bad guy suits him. Maybe it's the French thing. I don't know. All right. Well, that's our tier list for the Dolph Lundgren, man. That's cool. There's a few of these I'm gonna have to check out. Hopefully, everybody else does too. And is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'd say definitely check out the first 3 tiers. Just a great guy. Sounds like a good human being on top of it, with his activism against trafficking and just what he stands for. But thought this was long overdue, and I've been promising it all year, and I'm glad we finally got to do it.
Yeah, me too. So I guess no matter where you're watching this, whether it be Macho Movie Madness or Drew Reviews, be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. And if you want to check out anything else, I highly recommend some of these because we've covered several of these movies on the channel before, on both channels before. And stay tuned for more good shit because we got a lot of it.
We're out of here.